So now we're going to look at a couple of the concepts from Chapter 2, Career Planning, to help you with your homework. The first one is looking at economic trade-off. So Jessica, who works for a military contractor and hopes to earn an extra $1 million over her remaining 30-year career by going back to school to get her doctor's degree. Her income projection, if it's correct, it will say she's averaging over 33,000 more income a year. So Jessica's employer is willing to pay half of 45,000 towards the 90,000 cost of the annual PhD program. So she must pay 45,000 of her own money. Jessica wonders if this extra income warrants her spending the money to get her PhD. So we need to see that. This is where our future value tables come in again. Like I said, we'll continuously use these over the course of the semester. So we must look at what is the foregone loss of future value of $45,000 over 30 years at 6%? What would she be losing by spending $45,000 now over those 30 years? So we look at the future value and we look at to do our calculation. So we must go find the factor for 30 years at 6%. So here is our factor. We go and find 6% at 30 years, and our factor is 5.7435, which I've added that here, 5.7435. So what we do is we take the 45,000 times that factor, 5.7435, and we get $258,457.50. So that is what, if she has 45,000, it will grow to that much in 30 years. So is it worth it? Then it also says if she had to pay the entire 90,000, what would she forgo? So it's the same 30 years at 6%. We take that same factor, that 5.7435 factor, and we multiply it times 90,000, and we get $516,915. So what would you tell Jessica to do? Would you tell her to go ahead and accept the team's offer or not? The next thing we have is cashing out our 401k plan. So say, for instance, Emily has accepted a new job and she's thinking about cashing out her $30,000 she built up with her employer so she could buy a new car. If instead she left the funds in the plan and they are projected to earn 6% annually for the next 30 years, how much would Emily have in her plan? Again, this is a lump sum amount. We go back to Appendix A and we see that, and this is similar to the last one, that factor is going to be, we just calculated that factor, 5.7435. So we take the 30,000, we multiply it times the factor, and we see that in 30 years, she would gain $172,305. Now, what happens if she takes the money out? Well, when you cash out your 401k, if you cash it out early, there are certain penalties that you'll get. So 20% penalty on federal income tax, which will be $6,000. Another possible 5% to put you in the 25% tax bracket, that's another $15,000. 10% for early withdrawal penalty, that's a required. If you withdraw early, you get a penalty. If there are a few certain exceptions, but those are very hard to meet. 5% state local tax, another $1,500. So your total penalties will be $12,000. 6 plus 15 is 75, plus 75, that's 70, that's 10,500, plus the 1,500 is 12,000. So out of 30,000, she's paying 12,000 in all of these. So she's actually only getting 18,000 in cash. So would you cash out? And so those are our concepts for this chapter.